Hello everyone, welcome to the English session again. In this session, we will discuss pronoun part 3. We have already discussed part 2 and part 1 in which we discussed about the types of pronoun, in fact some types of pronoun. Now in this session, we will discuss further types of pronoun. So let's begin with the first type, that is relative pronoun. Relative pronouns. Now what are relative pronouns? As the word says itself, this is relative. It means a word that can relate. We can say we have a sentence structure like subject plus verb and plus object. Now this is the basic sentence structure that we have. We know well that only the subject and object can be made with a pronoun. Subject and object. Both of these can be made of pronoun or noun. Now when the subject or an object are related to the entire part of the sentence, the word which we are relating with this subject, or whenever we are relating a subject with other word, we use relative pronoun in that case. Relative pronouns are used to introduce relative clause which provide additional information about a noun or noun phrase mentioned earlier in the sentence. For example, let's take an example over here. Suppose we say the man who broke the glass. Now, in this sentence, we see that there is a person who broke the glass. So, this is some additional information about this man or the activity he's performing. And the word who is relating this phrase with this phrase, or you can say this clause with that part of the sentence, with the subject of the sentence. So this who is working as a relation or is relating this to this additional information. So this who is a relative pronoun. Now if I say the man whom you met. Now you met someone, and whom did you meet? The man. So the man whom you met. So this word whom is relating the man with this part of the sentence or with this part of this phrase. This is actually the phrase, not the entire sentence. So the man whom you meet. So you met with a person, that is the man. So the man is related with the entire part of the phrase or the sentence. We have used the word whom to relate it. So this whom is again a relative pronoun. Basically, we have several types of relative pronouns. For example, we have who, we have whom, whose, which, and that. We have already learned about nominative case and objective case and possessive case. We have already read these cases. Now, nominative cases. If we see the word who is actually the nominative case that can be used in place of subject or for the subject. The objective case of who is whom and possessive case is whose. Now, if we want to use these three in a sentence, we should use them keeping in mind the position. If we are going to write about the subject, we can use who. If we are going to write about an object, we can use whom. And if we are going to show some possession, we can use whose. Now, let us see the difference between who and whom first. If we see the word which is again a nominative case, that is also a relative pronoun that we will discuss later on. So first we will discuss the difference between who and whom. Who is used to refer to people and it acts as the subject of the relative clause. It means who is used for the subjective part. It's a nominative case, and whom is an objective case. Who is used for subjects, that is nominative case, and whom is an objective case. The woman who lives next door is a doctor. It means here we are talking about the woman. And woman is a subject over here. Who lives. Here lives is used for the word woman. And lives is a verb, is an action, is a doctor. It means when we are talking about someone, it acts as a subject. Here woman is a person whom we are talking about in this sentence. Therefore, who is a relative pronoun to be used over here just because the woman is a subject in this sentence. Now, if we see the sentence, the woman whom you met is a doctor. Now, the word whom we have used over here because here the main verb is met. And who is doing this work? You. It means you is the subject. You met. Whom did you meet? So, whatever the word which replies to the question whom is known as object. We have already read. Here, if we see the sentence, you met. Now, the question automatically arises in your mind that you met. Whom did you meet? Obviously, you met a woman. Now, this woman is behaving like an object. That is why we have used the word whom, because the object is written prior to the subject in a sentence. Therefore, we have used the word whom over here. Whom is also used to refer people, but it acts as the object. Here, whom is used for woman, and in this sentence, woman is behaving like an object because the work which is being done, the work which has been done is met, and met is a verb, and this action is done by you, and you is the subject. Therefore, you met. Whom did you met? So here the word which is replying to the question whom, that is woman, and that is an object. Therefore, we have used whom to relate this woman with the entire sentence. Now, we have some tricks as well to solve this. What are the tricks? Let us discuss them. First trick, but that doesn't work all the time, but let us see this trick. If we have a position like we have a blank, or we have a relative pronoun over here, and after that it is written a verb over here, or we have a blank or a relative pronoun, and just after that we have either a noun or pronoun. So these can be the two conditions in a sentence. Now, if there is verb, so we use who over here. We have to use who over here. But if the blank or the relative pronoun is just followed by, preceded by a noun or pronoun. If it is followed by a noun or pronoun, we should fill whom over here. Now look at the two sentences. Here we have word lives, which is a verb. That's why we have used who. And here we have you, a pronoun. That's why we have used whom. So this is the trick. But this doesn't work all the time. Sometimes this trick fails. Where? Let us see some examples of that as well. So this is the trick extant to some areas only. But rest of the part, now if we have a sentence, there also we use a trick. What's that? We'll discuss this right now. Now if we see the sentence, Rohit is the boy who everyone thought had stolen the car. Now we have already learnt about subject and object. We know well that who is a subject. Subject is a person who performs the action, and object is a person or thing that receives the action. These two things must be very clear to all of us. If we know how to identify, if we know the difference between subject and object, the concept of who and whom becomes very easy. For example, if we look at the sentence, here it is written, Rohit is the boy who everyone thought. Now, if we go with this trick, if a blank is followed by a verb, or if a relative pronoun is followed by a verb, it should be who. Or if it is followed by a noun or pronoun, it should be whom. But in this case, the sentence is absolutely correct, however. Now here the word given everyone, which is a pronoun. But the word which precedes it is who, not whom. Why so? Just because if we see this sentence carefully, here the work that has been done is stolen. Now is stolen. The activity which has been done is stolen the car. Now who had stolen this car? Rohit had stolen this car. Rohit is the subject. It means Rohit is the person who is doing the activity. And one who does the action, one who does the activity is known as subject. That means here in this sentence we have Rohit, that is a subject. Now we are talking about Rohit. Rohit is the boy who everyone thought had stolen the car. So the Rohit is the person who had stolen the car. That's why we have used who over here, because the subject is Rohit, and to relate this we use who, not whom. Now the question arises automatically that, but here it is written everyone, then what? Here it is written everyone thought. This is only the sense of mind. It means if I remove this word everyone thought, if I remove these words from the sentence, then also the sentence is complete. Rohit is the boy who had stolen the car. It means these two words do not affect the entire sentence. Do not affect the entire sentence. If I remove these two words from the sentence, then also the sentence is complete and meaningful. These two words do not matter in this sentence. It is only the state of mind that has been shown with the word everyone thought. We could write this before the sentence as well. We could write this sentence in a manner that everyone thought Rohit is the boy who had stolen the car. Then even the sentence was correct. It means here everyone thought do not matter at all. Everyone thought does not matter at all. That's why we have used who over here. Now we can also relate it with the sentence with a trick. Let me elaborate this here. Now if we can use a trick over here. What's the trick? Let me discuss it with you again. Let us remove this and let us frame this trick over here. Suppose we have a subject, or we have a noun or pronoun over here. We have a relative pronoun. Then again we have noun or pronoun. Now these are two cases. Now this noun or pronoun can be just after it or can be after. Now what we do, we should see this noun or pronoun and this noun or pronoun. If this noun or pronoun is behaving like a subject, if this noun or pronoun is behaving like a subject, it means it has been used as a subject, as in the case of Rohit. So we use who in this place, who in this place of relative pronoun. Now a relative pronoun has to be filled over here. But if this noun or pronoun which is written before the relative pronoun, if it is written and it behaves like an object, or you can say the noun or pronoun which are written after the blank, the noun or pronoun which is written after the blank, the noun or pronoun which is written after the blank is behaving like a subject, Now there are two conditions. If the subject or if the noun or pronoun is written before the relative pronoun and it is behaving like a subject, we use who. And if if the noun or pronoun after the blank is behaving like a subject, we use whom. Let us see an example again. The thief whom they caught was beaten black and blue. Black and blue is a phrase used for beating badly. Now, if we see the sentence, here we have the word the thief. And we should keep one thing in mind. We will focus only on the active part of the sentence. If the sentence is in passive voice, that doesn't matter at all. Now, the thief whom they caught. Now, here, which action has been done? That is caught. Caught is verb over here. Now, who performed this action? They. It means they is the subject. It means they is the subject. They caught. Whom did they catch? They caught the thief. It means thief is replying us to the question of whom. Here, thief is an object. Now, if thief is an object, we have used whom because object part has come prior to the relative pronoun and the subject. Therefore, we have used whom word over here. Now, you must be thinking that here the word beaten is also written and it is written for thief, but it is beaten. Was beaten. Was beaten. Whenever we have be form means is, are, am, was, were, been, being. These are the forms of be. And after the form of be, we have verb third form. This means the sentence is in passive voice. And I have already told you that passive sentence doesn't affect. Doesn't matter at all. We have to see only the active part of the sentence. Now, the thief whom they caught. Here, the verb is caught. And who did this action? They. Therefore, they is the subject. And they caught. Whom did they catch? They caught the thief. So the thief is replying to the question whom. That is an object. Therefore, for this object we use whom. I hope this is clear to you all. Now let us move further. So this is the difference between who and whom. So both of these tricks work if you are going to get a question of who and whom. And this is really very important. Now, here we have one more word, that is whose. Whose generally shows the possession of living beings. For example, whose is used to indicate the possession and is used to refer to both people and things. The girl whose book was lost found it. It means there is a girl whose book was lost. She has found it. But if I write the sentence, the road whose inauguration was done by the president sorry, I should write this sentence like this is the road whose inauguration was done by the president. Now look at this sentence very carefully. Now if we see the sentence, this is the road whose inauguration was done by the president. Now this sentence is incorrect. Why so? Just because we are using whose with road, and road is a non-living thing, whereas we use whose with living beings only. So this can be rectified as this is the road. Now whose will be removed from here, and after inauguration we'll add inauguration of which. Now as I told you before as well, that which is only a nominative case. To show its possession we use of. So the correct sentence will be like, this is the road, inauguration of which was done by the president. Then the sentence will be correct. Now just for the presentation we can add a comma over here. This is the road, inauguration of which was done by the president. Now this is the sentence. This is the correct sentence because we cannot write whose with a non-living thing. Therefore, we use of which to make it possessive. Now we have word which is used to refer to things or animals and introduces relative clauses that provide additional information about the noun. The book which is on the table is mine. Now book is non-living thing. So the book which is on the table, it means I'm talking about the book which is lying on the table. Is mine. That is mine. That's why the book is a non-living thing. That's why we have used which is also used for animals. For example, the lion which was eating his food, or which was having his food. So animals, to relate animals, we can use which is also used in case of choice, with living beings. In case of living things, if we are talking about choice, we can use which. For example, I don't know which of these boys is good at making presentations. Now, if we see this word, I don't know which of these boys is good at making presentation. So here I'm talking about the choice from these two boys, that one of these make presentations well. But I don't know that particular boy. Who among these? Or who of these two boys? So I can use which even for the living beings, just in case of choice. Now we use that. That can be used in various parts. That can be used to refer to the people or things, and it is used in relative clause, restrictive relative clause. The car that is parked outside is red. It means the car that is parked outside is red. It means I'm talking about the car that is parked outside. Here we are focusing on the car that is parked outside is red. Now that can be used with further, instead of who and which, after the words all, some, any, nothing, only, everything, anything, the only, the few, the little, the same, etc. If in a sentence any of these words come, we use that to relate it, not who and which. Also, we have superlative degree. If in a sentence superlative degree comes, superlative degree of adjective, then also we use that. This is the same necklace that I lost last year. Now same necklace, the same is written over here. So with the same we use that, not who or which. So this is the correct sentence. That can also be used in case, for example, if there is a person, then we have word and or conjunction and, then we have a thing or animal. Now in this combination, it can be vice versa, like thing and animal come first and then person. Now if we have person, then a conjunction and, then we have thing and animal, thing or animal. In this case, to relate these two things together, we use that and not who and which. The man and his dog. Here we have the man, that is a person, and then dog, that is animal. So the man and his dog that met with an accident yesterday have been recovered. Now we are using that over here and not which and who. Also in case of when we use an interrogative pronoun, again we have to use a relative pronoun. We will use that. If a sentence begins with an interrogative pronoun, or you can say WH family word, that is question word, in that case, if we have to use a relative pronoun, we will use that. For example, let us see this part with an example. What was the name of the book which you gave me last year? Now, this is the sentence or the question. Now, when we come to this sentence, we can see the sentence is beginning with an interrogative pronoun. Now, to relate this, what was the name of the book? I'm asking someone about the name of the book. Now, this is not again a question. In fact, this is relating the name of the book that you gave me. So your which should be replaced with that. Now the sentence will be correct. What was the name of the book that you gave me last year? So in this manner as well, that replaces who and which, or that can be used in place of noun or pronoun. That can be used as a relative pronoun. So these are some examples in which a word, in which relative pronoun that is used. That can be further used as when we have non-restrictive clause and restrictive clause. Now what's this? Non-restrictive clauses provide extra information that can be omitted without changing the meaning of the main sentence. Use commas to set of non-restrictive clauses. My sister who lives in London is visiting us. Now, if I say my sister who lives in London, it means this word who lives in London, this phrase is actually giving us the extra information about my sister. I should have omitted, I can omit this part as well from the sentence. That doesn't affect the sentence at all. For example, if I say my sister is visiting us, then also the sentence will be the same. We can omit this extra information as well. But if we don't, then also the sentence is fine. So in this case, the phrase my sister who lives in London, so this is giving extra information about my sister. This is called non-restrictive clause. Now, if we see restrictive clause provide essential information that is necessary to understand. It means in this case, we cannot omit the information, the additional information. For example, the book that is on the table is mine. It means this is very important to mention that I'm talking about only that book which is lying on the table. I'm not talking about any book. I'm talking about only that book which is lying on the table. In that case, we use that. Now, in this case, we have used which or who, just because here this extra information is not important. But in this case, this extra information is very essential. That is why we have used the word that. So in case of restrictive clause, we use that. In case of non-restrictive clause, we use which or who, which or who. One more thing, if the additional information about something is important to mention, we use that. If the additional information is not important for the subject to mention, we can use who or which. Now that in which, that is used in restrictive clauses, whereas which is used in non-restrictive, as we have already learned. The house that is painted blue is beautiful. It means I'm talking about only that house which is painted blue. That's why we have used that. The house which is painted blue is beautiful. Now look at the sentence carefully. The house which is painted blue is beautiful. So I'm talking about the house is beautiful. It doesn't mean at all that which is painted blue. It can be omitted as well, because I'm talking about the house that is beautiful. That's why we have used which. Now, agreement. Ensure that the relative pronoun agrees with the antecedent in number and gender that we have already discussed. In the last part. Well, now the remaining types of pronoun we'll discuss in the next session.